I see the word live, so hello, we're live, y'all. Hello, what's up there?
That's right.
Let's get this party started.
That's my girl. We
Yeah,
having a good
it
time.
said live, that means let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action.
That's right. We having a good time here. I was trying to do something special that was given to me. I should have been ready with that
Well,
one.
that's okay.
But I'm gonna do it before we go off.
Okay.
Hey y'all.
Hey, y'all. Yeah.
Hey y'all.
Tell my people to turn in too. And make sure everybody turn in. That's right. That's right.
Hang right up too. Look at that.
Good.
Ooh, it's set right up for me too, y'all.
Good, good,
That's what I'm
good.
talking about. I ain't got to go squirting and looking and none of that. Hey everybody, Tracy Allen, living in my truth, y'all. Coming to the end of the year. And I got these beautiful women here with me tonight. I said, we need to fill the couch up for this week. And go out with a bang. Y'all know what I mean?
Yes,
We
yes,
got the beautiful
yes,
Shantae.
Yes, yes.
We got Ross. And we got that Edwina, y'all.
Yeah.
We got a few more. Some gonna be stepping in and out, stepping in and out. They can come any kind of way they want.
That's
long
right,
as
that's
they
right,
get
that's
here.
right, that's right.
If they don't,
Never
we're
too
gonna do
late.
This thing, absolutely.
Never too late.
You know, hey, Regina, Elsie, hey y'all. I don't know if y'all can see these names, but in case somebody, my stand is upstairs, but I ain't ready. But that's all right.
It'll work.
Cause we can't see that far for the names just popping up way over there. Well, I got the iPad set up where we can get all of us on the couch, y'all. For the first time, we got a full couch. That's what I said before this year go out. I want the couch full.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Well, next year is already set up. We got more people coming, but I don't really want to talk about that because we live one day at a time.
One day at a
You never
time.
know.
One day at a time.
You know what I mean? We never
Yes,
know.
yes,
But
yes.
tonight is the night.
Right.
Finally, I said we got some good stuff. We're gonna reminisce, go back down, you know, memory lane, talk about, you know, the times that we was on the, to let y'all know we all was on the couch at one time. But this one right here is one who inspired me.
Oh, to be on the couch, huh?
Inspired me
Oh,
to
wow.
start this live.
Yes.
She keeps saying that, but let me tell you guys,
It's
she
true.
really was just so instrumental in so many things. You already know, being in her presence, period, you're going to get the truth, number one, right? The uncut version.
Right. Hey, make it live. No editing, no cut.
This one
That's
here.
right.
No cut. I'm
This
serious.
one here is the one, I'm telling you. And that's just how we are.
Yeah, when things are done right, it benefits us all, right? And that's what happened. Tracy blessed my soul by allowing me to come right here. That's right? We were right here.
Yeah, and that's the first time I ever did a live. Was on a live is with Rise. You know, sitting
Your
right
very
here
first
on this-
time,
The
huh?
very first time.
No
I said,
previous
"Lord,
experience or nothing, huh?
Nope.
What?
I just
That's
got
all
on
from the good.
Rise.
That's
Yeah,
right.
and it was awesome.
Yes.
It was beautiful.
Yes.
And I was sharing, you know, about, you know, like, you know, same thing we all share about, you know, my life, how I was back in my lifestyle, you know, with all that stuff. And, you know, she was interested because of a family, you know, is in a family, you know, so I shared a little bit on that, you know, but she was just so into it, you know what I mean? And the question she was asking me was like bringing a lot out of me as well.
So she was interviewing you.
She was
Okay,
interviewing me.
good, okay.
She had her whole
Yeah.
setup here interviewing me, so I call that the beginning of this.
Yes, okay.
You know what
okay.
I mean? She's a big
Foundation.
part. Yeah, she's a big part of me, even coming on, you know, live. And I had told her, and she was like, "You should just do it." She said, "Look, you can use my stuff. Just call me." I mean, she offered it all. You know what I mean? And I was just like, "Wow, that was awesome."
Yes.
You know, but I got my vibe from that.
Oh, my God. Do you have
And it's
your
been on fire
Yeah.
ever since.
And I think the most important thing, though, is that you have a product that we can't find.
Wow.
You have the truth that is so needed, but you can't Google and get realness about the life that you used to live. I mean, just like you alluded to, I have a family member, and I needed to stop being an enabler, but I didn't know how.
Right,
I didn't
right.
have the necessary knowledge to know what to do. And every time I saw Tracy, I said, Tracy, I got to interview you. You got to help me, Tracy. Come on. You know?
Wow.
And she said, I'll do it. And I said, you will? I called her up. I said, are you ready? She said, come on over.
Okay.
And she just, it's so natural for her. It just pours out of her.
Yeah.
Right? And it really does reach the cracks and the crevices that are not being attended to. And I salute you for that. I salute you for having that.
I'm just so grateful that I did that for you. You know what I mean? Because here we are now on every Wednesday.
A year later, too, right? A year later.
This was in the
March
same.
2024.
This was in the same time. Wasn't it the same?
March
Was it the year before?
It was March 2025.
It was.
Oh, this
it
year.
It's been a year.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Living in My Truth has only been on for a year.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And she was my second person that was on.
Okay.
My niece was.
Wow.
Yeah, she was the second person that was on. Y'all know my girl.
Yeah.
My girl, my shiny boo. You know. She came on because tell them, Sean, what was your
Oh, I just happened to be watching the, I didn't see when Patrice was on. When my daughter,
Treese came on before you?
Treese came on me.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't get to see her, but I automatically assumed that at some point that she was going to talk about her father. And when she didn't, I was like, oh, wow. So I was telling my daughter, I'm like, I'm going to go on there. But everybody know I get so emotional when I talk.
Do you?
So are you sure? Everybody, my family, you sure? I'm like, I'm going to do it. And it inspired. She inspired me because I know that she is a child that, you know, her father, you know, was an addict, and she didn't even mention it. So I was just like, you know, there's a lot of people out here that know me and think that because I smile every day or I'm so popular or whatever, you know, just period, that they don't know what goes on the inside and
Behind the mask. Right.
Behind
the mask.
Yes. It's like,
Yes.
So it just inspired me. And then people that I don't even know was reaching out to me and I'm
That's
so
a blessing.
happy that you did that or I'm going through the same thing or I went through the same thing.
Right.
So
You
that was
encourage
the
a lot of
lesson that I got out of it.
Yeah, you encourage a lot of people from your story. Because if I'm not mistaken, Shani, I think you got over 6,000 views, 6,000 plus views on that.
Yes. Amazing.
Yeah, over 6,000 plus views. And that's when I was first on.
Okay.
And I was like, 6,000?
Oh,
You
you broke the record, right?
I wasn't quite understanding. I said, I got 6,000 followers.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know a whole lot about I still don't, to be honest with you, because I'm truly not on it just because of that. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I enjoy
Yes.
just delivering
Yes.
the word.
And-
You know what I'm
and-
saying?
and
I really do. I'm not on this live to, you know, to draw fame and try to do better than somebody else.
Right.
You know, it's to help the next still suffering person, you know, whatever they can be helped with. A lot of people can't come on here and do what y'all did. You know
Well,
what I
we
mean?
did.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Especially you, Shani, because people will be like, I gotta see how that works and this and that. And you was brave. Like I told you then, I'm telling you now. You were very brave. And when you shared, you shared. You know, and I don't coach nobody when they come on this show. I don't coach anybody. I tell them, whatever you coming on to talk about is what we gonna talk about.
Amen.
You follow what I'm saying? Because it has to be authentic.
Yes.
You can't come on here setting it up and, you know, fronting and with all that bull. I don't even want you on here if that's what you think you're going to come on here for. Because this ain't about all of that. This is about truly helping people. We're doing God's work. You know what I mean? And it's coming through all of us. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no shame to my game about my addiction. You know what I mean? And the lifestyle that I live. Hell, I'm not the only one.
No.
You know what I mean? It takes us all out that way. You know what I mean? And like when you were saying about Patrice, like everybody, you know, don't come on for that. You know what I mean? You know, her feelings at that particular time. You know what I'm saying? Whatever she was feeling is what she was feeling.
Exactly.
That's why
Exactly.
she discussed that. But
Exactly.
I talk about her father all the time because that's my cousin Levert, and if it wasn't for him, I'm telling y'all, you know what I mean? I would have came in that rehab, went out that rehab the same way I came in, just motivated enough to get my welfare again, get that money and go back to doing what I was doing.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
but
yes.
he helped me in my tracks, and I will forever, you know, have him in my heart.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I was so shocked when I saw him in that rehab. You know what I mean? I was like, dang, he caught me getting ready to go down in the basement, do some shit I ain't no business doing. You know? And he actually saved my life that night, you know, because that person that I was going to meet in that basement, after a while, this man died from AIDS. You know?
Wow.
And being as though the programs are confidentiality,
Right,
you know, nobody could tell me that. So I understood where the Levert was coming from after the years. You know what I mean? Because he still never mentioned that to me. Was you know, that's all. But he knew I was getting ready to go meet him. Boy, the glasses were so thick they looked like them old green purple Coke bottles. But I wasn't going to be the only one in there ain't had no boyfriend. And you know, it's just like out of control with that today. And I tell my clients, it's always been that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Male think they need females, and females think they need the male. You know what I mean? But that's the hunger of wolves we come from. You know what I'm saying? It's like wolves. That's what we come from. You know what I mean? And we get to making people, making each other feel good about each other. You know, when we really still can't look in the mirror yet. You know what I mean? But now we can look in the mirror and kind of see ourselves, you know, and you can really look at the beat down in yourself, but you still look good. That makes sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
I remember you telling me that because I asked the question when we were doing the segment. How do you see yourself when you're in that, right? When those around you say, she don't look like herself, she look bad, you were saying, that's not what we see.
We don't see
You
that.
know?
We think we look good.
Yeah, that
You know, we
really,
still think we that. I felt like I was that girl.
understand something.
You know what I'm saying? We're at 82.5 pounds. You follow? You don't even see yourself going there.
Right. Yes, and you know, and I'm glad you mentioned that too. I have learned that you only know what you know when you know it. You only say what you say when you said it. You're only there when you're there. So it's almost like I can't change that because that happened. And that's what helped me relieve some of the guilt and shame. Because that's all I knew at the time. That's what I felt at the time. That's what I thought at the time. That's what I did at the time. Regardless of what people were saying, this and that, I hear you. But it went here and out there. My position at that time, I was incapable of listening. Right? Listening. I hear you, not knowing that I was under the lash of an enemy. So I didn't know that. I thought that was just me. I'm going through something. You know, I remember when I had stole my dad money, and he wanted to, kill me, shoot me, and all. And my mother said, she said, Eddie, don't do it. That's not Edwina. That's not Edwina. That's not Edwina. So over the years and in my process, I've learned that this is just a vessel.
Amen.
What spirit is operating through the vessel? You know, and that brought some understanding, for am I going to let this vessel be used unknowingly for that, or come to the point where I can't even do that no more. I need something different, right? Not knowing what different was, but I know I didn't want to be none of that. So when we're going through, we're in it. We're in it. And when that stuff went off, we look at ourselves, and guess what? We got to get high all over again, because we can't even look at ourselves anymore.
Wow. Well, even in it, so everybody and everything, right? We all have a purpose. Even in it, you're identifying the purpose. And, I think about all of us are addicted to something, right? You and I talked about that before. No matter what, it's always something that we're dealing with because we're in these fleshly bodies, right? And how we do that, coming here and sharing and inspiring others and saying, if I could do it, you can do it, right? No matter
That's
what
right.
the situation is.
That's
I think
right.
that's more purposeful.
Mm-hmm.
Using what you've been through for the good. That's that all things work together
Yeah,
for the
for
good
good.
type of
Right,
thing.
right,
you know?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So,
Exactly.
yeah,
Right.
it's understanding it though. You know, understanding it when you don't have any experience in it. And allowing you guys to be used to say it in a way that you can grasp.
Yeah,
And
I
you
felt
can
like
understand.
it bring more information to the families and the loved
Yes.
ones.
Yes.
Look at us. They
Yes.
can look at us and see all the mistakes that we making. You know what I mean? All the things that we doing, but they can't feel the pain from it.
Yes.
They can't feel the hurt from it. They can't feel the anger from it. You know what I mean? Or the fear from it.
That's
but you
right.
can
That's
see
right.
all of the actions of what we doing.
That's right.
You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
And
That's right.
to really help people to understand this. This was one of the reasons why I did come on with this, because a lot of people are out there suffering that family members and loved ones have given up on. Mm-hmm. You know, they want to die out there, let them die. I've actually heard people say this. You know what I mean? I'm not going out there after them no more. Well, they're not at that point in their brains. Their brain has been shipped all the way around. You know what I mean? It can't even communicate with their emotions, you know, with our emotions. It's like the sickness come in, the minute you like it, you're going to have to love it. Because it's going to keep you coming back and coming back and coming back. And it just takes you like from the top of your brain and just rip all of you out. You know what I mean? So now you're just a body, you know what I mean? Feeding a desire of a sickness that is cunning, baffling, and powerful.
And then what also happens is, in a family dynamic, the sick person, you know how a sick person just sick, you know, maybe a cold or a flu or something. Everybody caters to the sick person, right? Everybody is, you know, giving and the person is depending on them, and they keep giving. I have to feel important. I got to help them. I got to help. So there goes that dependency, codependency of trying to help somebody who is sick. But the disease, unknowingly to us, is a different type of sickness.
It's a different type
you know
of
what I mean?
sickness.
So the dynamic that I've learned as a result of being in this process 35 plus years, one day at a time, is that our family members become addicted to our behaviors.
Yes.
And their addiction is the enabling and being dependent. You know? So as soon as I get better, they don't know how to act. Well, you know. But let me go back to being sick. Then they know how to act. And so there's a codependency on both, and it's because both of us, our family members, are ignorant to what is really
going on,
perpetuating what's going on. So we're coming from a humanistic point of view, and we think that we can do this through our humanness. And that's a part of the process. All human beings are ill to some extent.
That's right.
All human beings are ill to some extent.
That's right.
Being in a sinful world, born with a sinful nature, what? You know, so we have to go through to get through to come through. And as a result of doing that, each and every one of us are going to find where we fit in or don't fit in. Until my mother got sick and tired of being sick and tired of taking care of me, she said either God going to take you or He's going to take me. But I'm giving you to Him because I'm going to live. I got other grandchildren. I got grandchildren.
Yes.
But she had to come to that realization.
But what did that, in that moment, what did that do for you? So when she said, hands off.
Here I go.
What
Oh,
did
well.
Oh,
well.
sound like me.
Oh, well.
That's what you said, but
But I said mine.
No. Listen. At that moment, listen. When my mother, listen. At that moment when she said it, you know how somebody pinch you?
Yes.
And that pinch goes away because everything else that, you know, so I heard the pinch, but the pain didn't last.
It lasts.
Because, you know, it was too hard to hear.
Yeah.
I wasn't capable of hearing it.
And
seeing it.
And it hurt it.
Yeah, it hurt.
It hurt.
But listen, coming down.
But you don't show that.
Yeah, coming down. Listen, I'm going to say this and be quiet. Listen. Now, you asked me to come on here. All right, now, you get what you get. You know.
That's why
I know. I hurt my mother so much. Right? When I had asked her for money to buy cigarettes. I ain't giving you no money to support your habit. I said, Mom, I just, I'm telling the truth. I really want some cigarettes.
Because we didn't always lie.
No, wait. So when I, so
Yeah.
wait a minute. So, and she got these 3 church women sitting on the couch. And my mom says something, and I said, Mom, you can't support my habit. And the ladies look at her. What you mean I can't support your habit? I said, because I fucked, I sucked, and I ducked for my habit. She said, what you say? And I said it again. She said, get out of my house. Because it was the truth. That's what I did for my habit. That's what I did. So don't tell me you're not supporting my habit.
That's a
And
real...
wait a minute. So when she said, get out of my house, here we go. No problem. And them church ladies like this.
Sure.
But years later, they said, honey, she said, when you left out that door, your mother's back was on the back of that door, and she slid to the floor. So
that's really good stuff. I am thinking of it, though, from the family member's perspective. Like you said, we don't know what to do. We don't know how to cope. We don't know how to respond. We don't know how to act. Right? So your mom didn't have a manual. Well, how should I respond to her when she's asking me for cigarettes? I want to stop being an enabler. I want to start responding in a way that will get her help and not continuing to support whatever it is. I hear you can't support my habit, but everything that she gave you in her mind, I'm sure she said, I'm supporting something.
Well, that right there, feeling like you can get us help. We don't even want help.
I'm about to say
We don't want help. You know what I mean? Because we don't feel like it's bad. We don't feel like you exaggerating on us pretty much. You know what I mean? But you my mom. You supposed to, give me when I asked my mom. My story is where when I knew I hit rock bottom, I didn't care about not going to sister's house or anybody's house, cousin houses and all that. Because all they was doing was yak, and talking smack, all that shit. And I'm having arguments all the time, you know what I mean? Da-da-da-da-da-da. Y'all exaggerating. But when I never thought that I was high in front of my mother. Because I didn't get high in front of my mother. I went to my mother's house when I was coming down. But the mental, the mental
was still there.
Dis-ease made me believe that. You follow what I'm saying? So my number one thing was, you ain't never seen me high. I never got high in front of you. She seen me high every time I came there. But in my mind was locked that she couldn't have saw me high because I'm coming down. You follow what I'm saying? And that last night that I came to my mom's house, she already had my kids. The last night that I came to my mom's house, she wouldn't even open the door. And that's all I had left was her. You know, because I knew I was way out of control at this point. I was just done. I was just a trick, junkie in the street. You know what I mean? Who didn't have no care and concern about what nobody thinks, said, or what they've done. You know what I mean? But I didn't think that I was that bad because I can go to my mom's house. You follow what I'm saying? I don't care about nobody else. I know my mom gonna take care of me. You follow what I'm saying?
But
and when I knocked on that door, she cracked that door. And my mom don't play. My mom didn't play. Ain't nobody disrespecting Gramps. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gonna do that. You know what I mean? So I never got out of bounds with my mother. Like I would my sisters. You know, and my mom said, you're not coming in here. And my whole self, because I was so used to doing that,
exactly.
my whole self went to like a shot. Like I said, why? Mom, I'm sleepy. I'm tired. She said, you're going to go get yourself together. You're not coming in here no more. And these kids is not going to see you like that no more. She said, so you go get yourself together and do whatever you got to do, but don't come back here until it's done.
And in answer to your question, just like we come to the realization that we had enough,
I didn't have enough yet at that point.
The enabler,
That made me
the
go out
codependent person, they get to a point where they had enough. So
She got sick and tired.
there's the
Her man sick and tired of me.
there's the answer.
You know, she
Each
wasn't
and
gonna
every
watch
one.
me die.
Right.
My mom wasn't gonna
Right.
watch me die.
Yeah,
After the fact of everything, we talked about everything.
Right.
You know, and she used one of the phrases that we use in the program. She said, "I had to live and let live with you." You know, because I wasn't gonna sit here and watch you die. That's what my mother told me. You know, and it was I could hear at this point. I was able to listen at this point. And when she told me I can't come to the house, you can't listen, you can't hear, you can't see. You know, you get offensive from it. You know, offensive. And when I ain't get smoked, my mother though, I wasn't that damn high. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's when I would have had to go. My mother would have broke
Yeah.
my head off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then my sisters and brothers would have did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But when I left, you know, and she shut the door, I was like, man, F this. I ain't worried about this shit. Then I got somewhere to go. I ain't had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
That's when the street life became my life. You
How
follow what I'm
long
saying?
after that did you go to rehab for the final time?
When my mom shut the door on me, I think it took me like 4 more months to go to the rehab.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was like I had nowhere to go. I was staying in crack houses and anywhere. You know what I mean? I even had a little fair share of over at the library in Chester, not the library, the museum. You know, we used to get inside there. We used to know how to get inside there. You know, and that's where we used to get high a lot. You know, and I was even staying over there. That's just plain ordinary homeless, man. Like, you know, scuffing for food. You know what I mean? Trying to get money. So you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Don't forget the Towers was right across the street from there. That was my haven. I used to go in that Towers and get it in. I used to be sleeping in the Towers, you know, down there. I done met me some old cripple guys, and it was on from that point. You know what I mean? I picked up another hustle.
Tracy said something that's crucial. As long as everybody extends their hand to help us, as long as somebody open up their door to let us in, the more people give us money, you know, unknowingly to them, they are delaying what God has for us. Okay, but they don't know it. We don't know it either, right? Right? They don't know. And so, I've learned now. My God said, okay. Well, all y'all going to get sick and tired and get sick and tired, and all y'all going to ask for help. And so, as people begin to realize that I can't anymore because it's killing me. So when one door's cut, you go to they cut, you know, they cut, then they cut, and then you find out you're all alone.
How do you feel about the person when they cut, though? So
When they what? When they cut you off?
Yeah, when they cut you off. When they absolutely had enough, in your heart of hearts, how do you feel about that? Do you ignore it and go to the next one, or do you say, wow?
For a moment,
Yes.
just for a split second,
Yeah.
because hearing that, we be like, like you know, like you want the man's gonna say, I don't care, but we crying and dying and stuff.
Hurting
Can't let
inside.
the show them.
That's what I was saying. You don't see
you
us
don't
hurt.
show that.
You don't see our hurt. You don't see
so we
our
had to
pain.
go.
You
We
don't
had to go
see-
get one more
you know, we
to
suffer.
get over that feeling.
Yeah.
And we come down and we got to get one more
That's
to get
what
over that
hurts.
feeling.
That's what hurts.
Yeah.
When we
Woo.
know what you're saying to us, it really hurts. But that's what'll send us back, basically, to go get high again. Because we feel the pain.
Because
you
you
don't
can't
see the
cope
pain.
with the pain.
You
that
don't
you're
see the
feeling.
pain, yeah. Because we want to stop, we just can't. We don't have we don't know how to do it. We tried every way. I know I tried every way possible. I stopped for 3 months. I stopped for 6 months. I stopped for 2 weeks. I stopped for almost a year. You know what I mean? And gave my sons. I gave Salim and Murdoch, they was getting the best Christmas ever. You know what I mean? They was getting the best Christmas ever, y'all. I'm telling you, I was so proud of myself. You know, everybody worked at the Franklin Mint. You know what I'm saying? Well, anybody can get a job. Remember that? At the Franklin Mint, my sister and all of them worked out there. I would always go out there. I get in one of them joints that was putting that money out, but I was killing them on that money. I'm going to tell you, I knew how to get that money out. Right? But I was proud of myself, and I was living in an efficiency apartment on 7th Street. And I had one closet, and y'all know I could make a box out of a whole home, right? And in the hall, I had bunk beds for them, and then in the one room that it was, in a little side kitchen, I put a divider in there. We had a home. You know what I mean? I got my kid. I got them back. You know what I'm saying? And they knew what was in that closet. They was happy though. They had their first Atari, all that stuff, right? That's when Atari's was out. Man, some people came over. This was the night before Christmas. It was Christmas Eve, y'all. And I said, I'm not gonna smoke. I'm just gonna snort. I see, I started snorting coke before I smoked coke. So in my mind, I could do this. You know what I mean? Because I could handle snorting. I never had a problem. You know what I mean? Except dying, didn't know I was dying. You know what I mean? The insanity of it all. And I started out snorting. Man, I think I snorted a couple bags. Before you know it, it was back on that pipe. And when I started smoking, ran out of money, I knew money was in that closet.
That's right. The Christmas
You
gift,
follow what
right?
I'm saying? I knew money was in that closet. And see, dealers, they don't mind taking this
That's
shit.
bad. That's the same.
You know what I'm saying? That's another addiction, though. We're going to get on that.
Yes,
it is.
That's
that
another
is.
addiction.
Yes.
They don't want to
Yeah.
call it that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
another
It is.
addiction.
It is.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh,
Yeah, because I lived up in that life, too.
Yeah.
You follow? So I can't talk shit about it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Mm.
I sold every piece one by one
Yes.
to the same person on top of that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Then, after that was going, my freezer was full of food, so
Ah!
I had food stamps. You feel me?
Oh, yes, girlfriend.
I had food stamps, you know?
Yeah.
Sold the food stamps. You follow what I'm saying? To the same dealer.
Lord
Keep
help
me
us.
up. And as you know, the package was getting smaller and smaller.
Right.
You know what I mean? To me, that's all I know is I got that hit. You know what I mean? Then I sold the food, the freezer food, out of the freezer. Oh yeah, they used to take your meats and
Yeah,
everything.
honey.
Yeah. I'm not surprised that they still do it today. I don't know, 'cause I got involved in it, but today it's crazy.
Yeah, it
But
is.
I hurt my boys. I really did. I hurt, and I know that would be a scar that they will always have worn. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you know, when we got up, they got up. I told them, they know I was running in and out. You know.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I left my keys one time, and the guy I was getting high with had to chip my window open for me to get in the house. You know what I mean? In the back,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And I told them the next day, I could see their pain. You follow what I'm saying? And I wasn't quite down yet either. You know what I mean? You know how you gotta go. It's suffering, y'all, when you're coming
It
down.
really is.
It is. This is why this is what make us
Yeah.
be out there like we
Right,
are, and
right.
do the things that we doing. I can't even describe
Wow.
the pain.
Well, listen, let me.
I seriously can't. I can't describe that pain.
Let me, when you mentioned the closet, talking about the pain, I was giving my daughter or son a birthday party. Everybody downstairs. I'm locked and loaded up in my room. Can't even come out. Up there getting high, and you know.
Yeah.
I heard somebody come up the steps. My mom, Lena. Closet. Open up the closet. Took the clothes out. Laid on the closet floor and put the clothes on top of me. Put the clothes on top of me, right?
So she couldn't see.
Yeah, so she could see me. And I see her standing at the window looking at all the paraphernalia. And I wanted to cry out so much. I wanted to cry out. Right? I wanted to cry out. Like, here I am, mommy. Here I am. And to see her, you know, just shaking her head and whatnot, right? But guess what? As soon as she left, I hit that damn pipe again, right? But so, hide underneath a pile of clothes. So embarrassed and so, just like I'm lost, mommy. But couldn't reach out. And I knew that if I did, my mama would have held me.
And helped you.
But
with that,
but I had to go through that.
Yeah.
So yes, we do feel. We do feel. We get embarrassed. We hurt, right?
Yeah,
The
we
guilt.
can't show.
You know, but as soon as that realization, I gotta take a drink. I need a hit. I can't feel this anymore.
That takes the pain away.
I can't
You
feel
gotta
it.
take the pain away.
I can't.
The drug and the alcohol, it takes the pain away. Nothing else can fix it. It's the That's why you drink more and you drug more.
Yeah,
Nothing else can
over
fix
and over.
it. Nothing else can fix it. It is no other
Woo,
remedy.
Lord have
There's
mercy.
no other remedy for this. You gotta just keep getting it on, keep getting it on. Even when you come down and you'll sleep for a couple of days. I would sleep for a couple of days, and then I wake up, eat up all my mom's food, rubbing. You know, but at the time that I'm getting high, you don't have an appetite. I used to set myself up. I'm gonna get me a hoagie. I'm gonna go get a hoagie. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get a cheesesteak. I'm gonna get a soda. I'm gonna get all that. I sold them too. Yeah, I sold them damn hoagies.
I used to
But
ask-
at the same time, the hoagies was going too. You hear what
I
I'm
used to
saying?
ask somebody,
But
hey, can I have a bite? Can I have a bite? Can I have a bite, please? I told mom, can I just have a bite?
Hey, look, by the time you get that second hit, man, food don't exist. Not for me. It didn't exist. That's why we get so tiny. That's why we
Yes.
start skeletoring, because we can't eat. You know, the brain don't know you're supposed to eat. All the brain know is feed me now. It wanted to dope. You know what I mean? And even when you're not high, it's like you still high, because you still hunger for it. You know what I mean? Even if I sleep and get rest for 2-3 days, 4 days, I get up ready to go back to the races.
So that's
It's
your
like it's
mind.
calling
You're
me.
only thinking
It's
about
calling
that.
me.
Really.
Yes,
Like
yes.
that's your
Mhm.
Yeah.
whole. You're
Yeah.
consumed
Yes.
with that and that.
It's the
only.
voice. It's what I call the voice all the time.
But it's
the
also, we learned, because we think and thought, and everybody else, something's wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
Something's got to be wrong with you.
We'll call somebody
Right?
else
Yeah,
crazy,
you
and
know,
not
yeah.
knowing that we crazy.
But, you know,
Mhm.
something's wrong. And I used to say, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? You know what I mean? And then, so, going through what I had to get through to come through, underneath that parked car, that was my bottom, underneath that parked car.
Mhm.
And it was like, I learned that there was nothing wrong with me.
Mhm.
I had to learn what happened to me.
That's right.
What happened to me
Yeah.
to make me want to escape, to make me want to suppress, to make me want to conceal, to make me want to ignore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Find out what happened to you. Because the disease of alcoholism addiction is one of compulsion and obsession.
Mhm.
So until we didn't know nothing about no disease.
Yeah, shoot.
Syphilis, yeah, gonorrhea.
Yeah,
you know, that
when
kind
they
of
first
shit,
told
you
me
know.
about some
You
damn
know,
disease,
right.
I was like, what you trying to say?
Yeah,
You know
but
what I mean? I ain't got
it
no
was-
disease.
But
I
it was
had
such a
gonorrhea.
relief.
Drink a lot.
I know, right?
Put that thing around my
Listen, give me my needle right there, there.
You ain't gonna tell me I got AIDS. You ain't
Yeah.
gonna tell me I got AIDS. Some people looked at me in that place and said,
But
that's a shame.
listen,
You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to
But
fight.
listen, once we found
I
that
said, shit,
out,
I burned
yes. But once we found out
And
that
the
we
night.
suffered from a disease, right? Once we found that out, when I say it was like a big relief,
Oh my gosh, was it?
it was like
Yeah.
because we think something's wrong with us.
We had to learn how to listen so that we can hear, and then we were able to see and start feeling like a different way. Like the feelings for me came back when I started, when the Vertnum just started talking to me. You know, took a whole about a week and a half before they could really get into me. You see that I was really paying attention and trying to help want to be helped, because I didn't even want to be helped yet. You know what I mean? I just wanted to stop using. And you couldn't tell me that I had some damn disease. Like I said. You know
They
what I
didn't
mean?
know either.
You ain't gonna tell me I got no disease, but I didn't know it was a disease of addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the onset, do you feel like a specific thing triggered your desire to get high, or was it just partying and let me try this and that?
Partying.
Look at your household.
I couldn't
I learned
party.
how to drink
My
in my
party
house.
was-
I learned how to
my-
prostitute in my house. I learned how to be promiscuous in my house. I learned how to lie in my house. I watch the adults. We imitate the adults.
And that's-
you know what I mean?
that's
So the foundation of all of our character
True.
defects derive from our house, our upbringing. Yes,
and,
yes,
and,
yes.
being out there in society. You know what I mean? Society was big for me. I wanted to be popular. You know what I mean? I was popular, you know, like coming through school to fights and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Selling the weeds and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to stay popular. You know, so I was a cool girl. You know what I mean? I hang with a bunch of women. It was always guys, you know, you know, and being introduced to the drug was because I was around people and always hung around people older than me. You know what I mean? And I used to watch it, but I wouldn't touch it. You know what I'm saying? Because they were what you call functional addicts. You know, I used to let my cousin and come in my house, and they was in my bathroom shooting up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I was cool with that because they was cool once they came out. You know what I mean? Like I ain't see no harm in this shit because, you know what I'm saying? They was cool as shit. You follow? When they came out, that was the raggedest jokers in the world. You know what I mean? They wasn't like what addicts really be looking like today. You know what I mean? We just dissolve and just lose everything. You know, I think it's a difference in the type of drugs that was in that time. You know what I mean? Today it's just awful. It is just disgusting. It is so freaking hurtful and painful for a person like myself to see that they have rat poison, all this stuff. You know, out here. People love it. I mean, they love it though. They know what they're getting. They tell me this all the time. They know what they're getting, but they love it. But that's the power of sickness. You know what I mean? That is that disease, you know? And as this disease developed, cutting that up real quick, you know, in my time of helping people and understanding disease, you know, I just got into a thing called dis-ease. You know, disease is D-I-S-E-A-S-E. Okay, this is what they tell me that I have. You know what I mean? But I didn't know, you know, in my life, I was living at dis-ease, D-I-S/E-A-S-E. You know, and I use that a whole lot with my clients. You know what I mean? And they be like, oh man, I never thought about that way. You know what I mean? That's the struggle. You know, being in the, like it's like being in a tunnel. You know what I mean? You go in self-inflict. You put yourself in this predicament because you welcome the drug in. You don't think that it can hurt you, and you don't think it can happen to you, but you see other people out in the street. That's the first thing we say. You know what I mean? But the minute I got the hit from that drug, I was addicted then. You know what I mean? I can say that today because I chased it from that day. The hit was so delicious. That's what I'm going to tell you. The hit was so beautiful. Just the feeling of it. It was the bomb. And I'm like, shit.
Can you describe it? Like,
I can't. It was all I could, this is what I'm saying, to you. I can't describe that first hit. All I can do is tell you it was a bomb. And I can't describe coming down. It was miserable. It was painful.
But you know, let's get back to the evolution of everything. Like you're saying. Like where did it all started? And so when doing the step work, we find, particularly in step 4, where things happen, where the foundation was, and who, what, where played in it. And so
taking a moral inventory.
So we're in an environment where we see and we're being taught. You drink to celebrate. You drink to grieve. You drink to go to work. You drink, and so all we see is people doing this and doing that and doing this and doing that. You know what I mean? We're like, wow. You know, I can't wait to.
And they make it look so easy.
So we played house.
You know?
We played house. We pretend we was the drunk. We pretend, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, many of us became addicted. My first addiction was attention. Getting attention from my daddy.
Yep, me too.
So my addiction was attention.
Yeah, me too.
That's attention. And so what happens in doing the step work, we find out that it really never was about the drink or the drug.
He was an alcoholic.
Yeah, it wasn't never about alcohol. It was never about the drink or the drug.
He just used to be the monster.
Right. It always go back to the feelings, the emotions, and what we did for that. And so once we got in touch with what happened, so recovery says you're still going to have those emotions. Either you want to go back to that, or we're going to show you how to get with this.
That's right.
And how to deal with grief, and how to deal with anger, how to deal with depression, and the spiritual, constructive way. You know what I mean? So life on life, how you say it, baby? Life is life, how you say it?
Life is life.
Life is life, right? And so, and this is my belief. We're all chosen for something.
Amen. That's
We're
what
all
I'm saying.
chosen for
There's a
something.
purpose for
That's
everything.
what it's all.
Yeah.
We're all okay.
Yes.
And every so my destiny, my spirit, was destined, to go through that. Because out of my mom's 6 kids, 4 of us addicted at the same time. I happen to be supposedly the most educated, the most philosophical, the most spiritual, and they be like, "Damn, what happened to you? You used to be." And I used to say, I don't know. I would say, what's wrong with me, right? But going through to get through and come through, I realized I was being prepared. And so out of my mother, the same mother that I said those words to, God prepared me to take care of her and 14 other members of my family on hospice.
Wow. Awesome.
Wow.
That's because you listened. And she heard.
How do you feel? Because there's. How do you feel about that though?
Man,
So the people
it's
who
a high.
talked about
Wait, it's a different high. Hey, man, this is a spiritual high. Oh my God.
Get you lit.
Woo!
Look,
Honey,
it's
this
a
is
high
yeah,
and the
look,
drugs
woo.
and the alcohol.
Oh my
can't
God.
touch.
This high.
Wow.
Can't touch. And the thing about it is, the more you keep
And get
praying,
right
the more
again.
you let God do His work, and the
Yes.
more you keep doing what you
Yes.
do. Let me tell you something. You get higher. It goes to a limit where you like, dang.
But it's not painful like coming down,
Painful.
right? It's
Try to
not-
have you shouting.
Listen. Wait, see?
Oh my
I never thought I would say something like hallelujah.
But oh my
Hallelujah. I
God.
ain't saying that.
Tracy,
I ain't saying that either.
Tracy, just like you
Can't
just
stop
said,
today.
every
I know
time,
that's right.
Can't stop today.
That's right.
every time life on life terms shows up in one way, shape, form, or fashion, right? We get that euphoria, that feeling like, Christmas time. Oh, we got presents and presents and presents and presents, and I don't want that no more. The high comes down. Reality's, well, no, I really wanted that. So everything is like a quick up and then a smash down, right? And so what we're learning in recovery is that be prepared for the highs and lows, because that's what life is about.
Yes.
The difference is, are you going to apply spiritual principles
Go ahead.
to understand what you're going through
Go ahead.
and recognize this too shall pass?
That's right. That's
Because
right.
a lot of us, we get stuck.
Yeah.
No. Spiritual principles apply to all earthly matters.
That's right.
If I got high every day,
That's right.
tricked every day,
That's right.
drugged every day,
That's
I
right.
go to my meetings every day.
That's
35 years later, I go to my meetings every
That's
day.
right. I did. We have to do 90 meetings in 90 days after rehab. Man, I did 3. 90, 90, and 90. I went to 3 meetings a day. You know what I mean? Because they opened me up so much. And when I went into the rooms, I seen people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That I know that I thought was dead, or they back in jail again and all that. Man, they was in the rooms clean for 7 years, 10 years, 8 years, looking good. The same very people that your parents wouldn't let you around because we called them junkies. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah, junkies is a cuss word to us. You know what I'm saying? Call me no damn junkie. I ain't no junkie, but you are a junkie. So you gotta accept the things you can't change.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Change the things you can. And have the wisdom to know the difference.
So you have pride in the midst of
You
it.
damn right.
Wait a minute.
Don't
With
tell me I
humility.
look bad.
Wait a minute.
Don't
With
tell me I look
humility,
bad.
right?
humility.
Either you're going to be humiliated
That's right.
or you're going to be humbled.
That's right.
And so when she talked about the night, you talking about how smart we is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so smart. So when that rehab lady said, Weena, we want you to make 90 meetings in 90 days.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that's a lot of meetings, right? She said, do me a favor, man. I said, well, she said, can you make a meeting for 3 days? Can you make a meeting for 3 months? I said, oh, yeah, I can do that.
Mm.
Same
It's
day.
the same day, right? Right? She looked at me like, so wait. She looked at me like, and I looked at her like,
You caught it, right?
He sounds less than.
you know what I'm saying? So people who know us can tell us the same thing in a different way.
In a different way.
Whereas family,
Now, what you say is how you say it.
family is too close. We're not going to gonna hear you.
But we
They gonna
don't
hear
know
you.
the language either.
Yeah, but
We don't know to say.
Not even that.
Can you make it for it?
No, not even that.
Mm-mm.
Family is too close.
Right.
Family's just too close. You can tell me the same thing about anything. You can
Mhm.
tell me anything.
You already told me.
I ain't
You already
gonna-
said these things.
She
some
said,
of these
sit
things to us.
your behind on the
Yeah.
steps.
Mm-hmm.
And Mommy said, sit your behind on the steps. And I get off the steps. And then my Aunt Margaret said, well, didn't she tell you to get off the steps? Yeah, but, okay, well, I'll listen to you, Aunt Margaret. I ain't listening to Mom.
Mm-hmm.
I need to hear from somebody different.
Mm-hmm.
Because Mommy too close.
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to let me get away with it? You know.
And going through the process of recovery, at times you think about what some of you said about me. Don't think I don't hear you. I hear what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? You don't think I hear what
And
you're
you
saying.
hold on to
Yeah,
that.
I hold on to it. I hold on to it that I was able to live in that God. And I'll bring it back up to you too. Don't think
It is, right?
such and such and such and such. You did such and such and such and such.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the time, being sick, I can't handle that right now.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
but you go through that tug of war with yourself on a lot of the most closest people that you have. You know, because y'all, you was the most closest person that cared about us.
Right.
You know, people in the street don't care about you.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I say today, if you see somebody sick and suffering in the street, it ain't nothing to mumble about. It ain't nothing to, to say, judge them. You follow what I'm saying? When most people say, well, they did it to themselves. I mean, we did, but we didn't go into it with that intention. You know what I'm saying? We was just partying. Like me, I was partying. You know, and I had a good time. But when I invited, that's where I was. When I invited the drug in, you know what I mean? It's not something that you catch. This ain't a virus. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no damn virus. This ain't something that you catch. You know what I mean? This is something that you invited, unaware of the power of what it can do. You know what I mean? So I don't see when I said, oh, I can do this. It's cool. I know, girl. You know, you get hooked on that. Not me.
Not me.
Tracy.
I said the same thing.
You know what I mean? Most of them
Most
said it. Not me. Shit. I know when to stop. It was never time to stop. It never allowed me to know when the time to stop. You know, it taunted with me for a little while. Let me stop for a week. Let me stop for 3 months. Let me stop for this. But once it said, enough of that shenanigans with you, slave.
And that's what you
Feed me.
under the lash,
Feed
right?
me.
Under the lash.
And
under the
feed me
lash.
now.
But guess what?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what it says. I'm not gonna. You know how prostitutes, right? I learned that early before I became right. Women and I usually have my wig on and I put my lipstick on my TV show. And after I let y'all know what's going on, I snatched that wig off. I
Girl,
take
she
these
did
wigs
that the
out,
first time
and I
she
say,
said
"How you
smoke
like me
on
now?"
it.
Right? And so the
when
mask.
she did, I jumped like this.
I was gonna wear it today.
Y'all don't like she was on live.
Because you know why? It's the mask.
It's the mask.
It's the mask.
It's the mask.
But let me tell you this. Just wait.
Girl, she had this hair on and
Look, I can do it now, but anyway.
the hair went over there, the teeth went over
And I said, and this is what I do. I said, how you like me now?
She said, "Hi."
Because they are looking at this.
That's right.
This
It's
one.
left.
So you don't have any of that tonight, right? So I'm
Nah,
good.
she-
What?
Look! Rob!
You said it.
Rob! She don't mind. She don't mind.
How you like me now? How you like me now? Huh? Yeah, we got it for you, boo boo. You asked for it. Don't ask me for
She
it.
was off the
Hey,
chain. Look,
hey.
I was like this.
She said, put up that. You asked for it. Come and get it, right?
Right. When she did it, I was like
Yeah.
this. Because I didn't expect
Yeah.
it. I didn't know that was going to happen. Girl, she threw the daggone thing. It went way over here.
Because it's about authenticity. It's about taking off the mask. Cocaine,
That was
listen,
hilarious.
cocaine and alcohol took my teeth.
Everybody who knows me knows that I'm authentic. It's
Hey,
real.
look.
I'll be down.
Well, guess what? And that's your choice.
Yeah, no,
But-
I dig that.
But
though.
listen,
I dig that.
but listen.
I really do.
just like we have an addiction and our family members need to get help too.
Oh, yeah.
So we go to Narcotics Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous.
Mhm.
It behooves the family to go into Narrow-9,
Al-Anon.
to learn the 12 steps for
Them.
and their
Understand,
disease
right.
of codependency.
I never heard that
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I never.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I'm saying.
I didn't
Yes.
explain it that way.
Yes.
I just said to understand and help the still
Yes.
suffering act.
There's a
But it's
program.
for the
Okay.
codependency.
The
and
same
enabling
12
them
steps.
and,
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
The
knowing
same 12
what
steps.
is happening with us. It teaches you how
Yep.
to cope with
Yep.
us.
Yep.
So Bill and Bob created the
Yes.
12 steps.
Yes.
But
yes.
their wives
Yes.
created
Oh,
the
yes.
Al-Anon.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
yes,
Mhm.
yes,
I
yes.
remember you saying
Because
that.
in order for
And Bill and Bob, y'all are the founders of the
Alcoholics
12
Anonymous.
steps. Alcoholics Anonymous.
in order for the person to heal, the family has to
It
heal.
has to heal. That's right.
Because it started with the family.
Mm-hmm.
It started with the family.
It's something that happened within us. Like I said, you know, a lot of us go through trauma.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's
And we
it's
don't-
a
yeah.
trigger, but
I'm
me,
so glad you
I'm
told
young, but for my mom, and my family, it didn't start in my grandmother's house. It's just it was something that happened to her that made her keep drinking.
Right.
Yeah.
But you went through the trauma.
Yes, but what I'm saying is when she was saying like, you know, it don't always start with you seeing it happen at home because it doesn't always happen.
But that's
at
but,
home.
but that's not for everybody.
No,
you
nothing
know,
is
what
for
worked
everybody.
One may not
Right,
be for
right,
the next
right,
person.
right,
So
right.
when she's saying that,
Mhm.
she's saying 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's where it comes
Hey, but
from.
guess what?
In a way that you
Guess what?
Like, see how you just described
Yeah.
it, but it happened.
But
It
guess
was
what?
Trauma.
Guess what?
You know what I
it's-
mean?
Guess
yeah,
what? Guess
something
what?
caused
And
it.
through Pam, there was some trauma.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we all have
Yes, sir.
something in us
Yes.
that
Yes.
we'll find out later.
Yes.
Sometimes
Exactly.
we can't
You better
cope with
talk.
it.
Yes.
Like
That's
I knew once I started getting clean and they had me doing step 4 and they had me going,
Mhm.
they said you got to go down to your toenails all the way up to the string. You ever heard
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
strings of your hair.
Yeah.
And you got to dig deep. You know what I'm saying? And when I dug deep, you know, I realized some things like what was pain to you? What
Yes.
happened in your life? That's the first thing they always ask. What happened to you in your life?
Right.
It starts somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I
right,
mean? It
right.
may not have been in grandmom's house, but it was in mom's
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
It may not have been in mom's house, or it could have been in Uncle Johnny's house.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You following where I'm
Yeah,
going?
yeah.
So with me, as I got older and got more into me and got more into my traumas and, you know, my mental health, you know what I mean? Because I call it mental health because it really hurt it. And it made me react in
Yes.
certain ways.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And when I thought about some of the so-called uncles, you know what I mean? You know, they used to sit me on their laps.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But see, today I know what the big lump thing was.
Hey, look like this.
Used to whisper in
Look
my
like this.
ear, you know, and really what they doing is like kissing me in the
Yeah,
I know what all that
Yeah,
shit is.
put their hand around your
You know what I
arm.
mean?
Yeah,
All
no,
around here,
yeah,
you know, and always sitting me
Yeah.
right in that
Yeah.
same spot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
That I didn't recognize
and probably
it.
rocking
High.
too.
That's what I'm saying.
And probably rocking.
That really
Man,
has
I want
to be
to
talked about.
Yeah.
And this is in that generation.
Never let my daughter
Yeah,
follow
this
nobody.
is
Yeah.
It got
we
you.
got
wiser.
what we
Don't
went
stand
through.
up.
generation,
But we had to go through
We
it.
got wiser.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
we got
saying? But
wiser
back
about
then,
that.
in
Yes,
our
we
house,
realized
you can't tell nothing. You know what I mean? And 9 out of 10, the parent ain't even gonna
Exactly.
believe you.
Exactly.
You follow what I'm saying?
All
So
of
that
that's
was a problem for me too. That was some trauma that I suppressed to make myself forget about it. You know what I mean? And as coming up, I did. You know what I mean? Recovery helped me to reveal all these things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that means
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
my truths is coming out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm no longer afraid.
Right.
Cause fear is big for us.
Yeah.
Fear is
Yeah.
one of the number ones. You know what I mean? We fear to stop using drugs.
Wait. Go a little deeper. But you said fear
Oh yeah, fear.
is common. Like fear
Oh, yeah.
something leads you to it. Leads you to getting high. Tell me what you mean by
No. Everything I did in my time of from being little
Yes.
all the way up to where I am today,
Right.
it took steps to get there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Once I learned how to listen, I was able to hear and now I'm able to see. So I'm still doing step 4 myself all the time.
What is
Step 4 is taking a moral inventory on yourself.
Amen.
You follow what I'm saying? So it makes you dig deep. You know what I'm saying? I always take a moral inventory on me, no matter what I do. I could be sitting with you, right? And we might discuss something, or we disagree with something. You know what I mean? I might feel some vibe, I might still feel some tension. I take inventory on me. You know what I mean? If it caused a situation, I'm gonna have to answer this.
But I tell you, what's interesting is that, like, I'm having a podcast soon called Family Secrets. We have to start talking about that stuff.
Is vicious.
That's
another thing. That's even what I was just saying.
Yes.
That's another part of trauma, and it causes mental health in you. Like, you know, it causes pain.
Big time.
It causes pain.
Yes.
And it causes pain that you have been suppressing for so long. You know, like, thank God today we tell our kids, and, you know, like I told mine, you told yours, and everything. No, ain't nobody sitting you on their lap. Ain't nobody just going to do this or do that. You know what I'm saying? But kids is being taught now to speak up and say something. Don't let this happen. But back then, in my generation, you couldn't speak up.
You could not.
You understand? You forbidden to do all that. Even what you saw,
You had to act like you didn't.
You got to act like you didn't see it.
Don't you?
And then you know what? When you talked about, you know, the fear question and the moral inventory. So in our studies, they said fear is the underlying factor of all our character defects. So let me give you an example. Let's give you an example. So I will say I'm jealous of my mom, and I used to be jealous of my mom. She got too much attention from my dad. I told you I was sick with my dad. So in doing my 4th step, well, why was you jealous of your mom? And in my 5th step, it said, well, because he got too much attention. And that made you feel what? It made me feel like there wasn't enough for me. And how did that make you feel? Like daddy's going to leave me. And so why you make you think daddy's going to leave me? I'm afraid he's going to leave and not come back. So fear that was camouflaged by jealousy, insecurity, abandonment, rejection was based on fear. So in recovery, they tell us fear is the acronym for face everything in recovery.
Everything.
Instead of F everything and run.
That's right.
Because that's all we did was run.
We got to face all this.
And how old are you?
This is what makes us strong, too.
I'm 70. I just turned 70 a couple weeks ago.
It was just her birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. But guess what? Every day is my birthday.
That's right.
But let me tell you what that fear
every
thing
single
said.
day.
When my life changed because of a fear factor that came from my past.
Yep.
The last day that I got high, I was getting high with my stepson. Drinking, drugging, sexing, all that. I did all the work, you know what I mean? And
Your stepson?
yeah, honey. We was
Ain't too much going on.
I did all the work.
I did all the work, right? So listen. So when everything was gone, you know, and I told him to take me home in my car that his dad didn't think was getting high, right? And so he said he wasn't gonna take you. You ain't nothing but a bitch. Wait till my dad hear about you and this and that, you know. And I snatched the keys out the car so he couldn't go nowhere. And he got out the car and he came out and he hit me and I started running. I threw the keys, you know, back there, so I'll go back and get them later. So I thought, right. But I'm running. I'm thinking for my life. And I saw a slew of cars and a flashback from my past. Every time I was afraid, every time I was fearful, I hid underneath the bed.
Wow.
When I saw them cars, I said, if I just get underneath the car, he can't get me.
He can't get you.
And that's when the last time I got high. My face was literally on the ground.
Yeah, you got to see her book. She has a book.
Yeah, my face was literally on the ground. And the flashbacks of 34 years old, how am I underneath a car? But that flashback from my past, you know, they say something about the subconscious will direct you. You know, consciously, man, he get ready to kill me.
Yeah.
But it was underneath that parkour that through what we call a humiliating experience, friends, God said, I got you exactly where I want you now.
Go ahead.
And I cried out to this God that I didn't know but heard about.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, whoever they say you are, whoever they say you are, you take me out this life and show me a better way. I can't do it. Mama can't do it.
That's another thing about us too, y'all. We lose all conscience of a God.
Yes, talk about that.
God don't do nothing for you when you under the influence. When you're out there and you
Oh,
living,
we think you don't.
we think we don't. You know what I mean? For me, when I was little, like I was saying, being on all my uncles' laps and all that stuff, and certain stuff happened through me through time, and I would pray because my mom was a God-fearing woman,
Right.
You know, and we went to church
Right.
every Sunday. Singing on the choir, can't sing a lick.
But
You know what I mean? But I had my blue
hey,
shirt on and my white shirt on.
didn't you lip
Just
sync?
Baptist church.
Hey, didn't you lip sync?
Oh, I was vicious with that girl. You must have seen me. I'm like, girl, everybody knew I was lip syncing. When I got older, my sister and I'm up there singing, and I'm up there, I'm going with them too. I get every word out, girl. Got the rock in there, the whole 9 years, wasn't nothing coming out of my mouth. But anyway,
The God thing.
yeah, when you I felt like God wasn't real because he never answered my prayer. At least I thought he didn't. You know what I mean? I thought he just kicked me out to the curb. You know what I mean? For everything that started happening to me, everything that happened to me that he got away with, you know what I mean? Being out there, getting on the drugs. I was blaming everything on God. You know what I mean? So I realized through my cousin LeVert, Ty, and my sister Cheryl, because they taught me how to pray and understand prayer.
Right.
And they taught me that I had to have patience. And it's gonna come.
Yes.
But God never turned his back on me. I turned my back on him.
We didn't
Because
really know.
Yeah, I didn't know it. I didn't think about waking up every day. God did it. You know what I'm saying? I just thought that just would happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is how you think. I just thought that just would happen. You know, but he covered me on all those times that my life was in jeopardy. And I called myself getting away with it or getting away from it. That was God. You know what I mean? I understand that to this day.
Yes.
And I thank him to this day.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But I had no understanding or care or anything for him, basically. You know what I mean? It was just, everybody say God pick and choose who we want to do things for. You know what I mean? And that's when my back was turned. You follow? And I didn't understand that.
Right.
As I got more into learning, pretty much, and listening, you start fending for yourself once I brought him back in.
So let me ask.
When I surrendered to God, everything just started changing. Everything started changing. Yeah, everything started changing. I said, this man sent me to 3 90s and 90 days to meet. He made me fall in love with the first meeting. I went to an AA meeting first. Then we went, because it was mandatory back then. Then I went to an NA meeting. This is mandatory rehab style, right? And when I saw the people and I listened to them stories, and that thing just turned my life all around, and all I heard was God. And I had to ask the question, well, I thought this wasn't a religious program. It's based off of religion.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And as I took it in for myself, and I got closer to God myself, I mean, shoot, I'm a beast with it now. You know what I'm saying? I'm a beast with it now. Now I can share this with other people who listen.
Right.
People just like me. People was just like me, lost in the sauce, had no love, no life for God, nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I base myself off of my cousin, LeVert. I will never forget him. This man helped me through everything of my recovery. And my sister told me how to pray. She prayed with me over the phone. She was the only one who knew I was in the rehab. I didn't tell nobody. But my sister Cheryl knew, because she was always the she the one we all
That's
go
my
to.
heart. You know
Yeah.
that's my
So
heart.
I
That's
called her
my
from the
heart.
rehab to let her know I was in the rehab.
Okay.
And I'm crying and stuff. I'm crying. Come on, Shine, you ain't never seen me cry. I'm crying because now I'm feeling emotions. I still have emotions. I'm being introduced back to them. You know what I mean?
So, because I'm thinking in my mind the whole time when you were talking about, I didn't have, any care for God, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to care about anybody
Nah.
while you're sick?
I'm mad.
While
I'm
you're
mad
in
right now. I'm so mad, and disease has my brain. Like I tell y'all, it's like once it gets you, it breaks your brain up into like a puzzle. You got this beautiful head. You was this beautiful person before, but the more you got high, the more you smoke, the more you drink. Functionally.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying? At the same time, you don't know that this is tearing you up. It's either gonna get you physically, mentally, or spiritually. It's gonna take it all from you. You know what I mean? And it's gonna convince you that everything is still okay. But then dealing in, because I know people who still get high. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
And they still feel as though they're functional. But I know that drugs and alcohol is poison. And I know that it takes this time to make you feel the power of what it really is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I come to learn that. I come to believe in that. You know what I mean? But it broke my head up, my head up till that my brain was no longer in one piece. It was broken up into all these puzzle pieces. So every time I tried to do this, it was going in the wrong spot, the wrong piece where it needed to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
And sometimes disease was so cunning, baffling, and powerful that it was making me believe that it was okay and everything was all right, but it was in the wrong damn piece.
And you know
and
what
I
it was?
shoved it in there
Right.
because I was getting excited that I was doing
You
better.
know what it was? You know what it is? Remember I said earlier, this is only the vessel.
Yes.
Remember I told you
Yes.
that? This is only the vessel.
Yes.
The question becomes, what spirit is operating through this vessel? So that spirit is going to do, say anything that it wants to do.
voice.
And it's just using your
It's
vessel.
the voice. Disease
So
is
it's
a
not,
voice.
it's not you, it's that spirit within.
Yeah, it's
Like,
that
you know,
voice, man.
you
It's
know,
that subconscious mind. It
You know
breaks
how
it up
we get,
and
when we get angry, right? Anger. Because I teach anger management. And anger. They say, well, put a D in front of anger. Danger. Right?
Yeah.
But while that spirit of anger is in us, we don't hear nothing.
we don't hear nothing.
We don't hear nothing.
That's what I'm saying. You can't. We ain't listening. We can't hear.
Until you on that
Until
bench
we
and
learn
say,
that, that's
"Damn,
when we can
what
start
happened there?"
comprehending
Yeah.
and seeing.
And then, like she said about religion, right? Listen. No religion. No religion.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
As a prostitute, guess who was my biggest customers? Pastors.
Go ahead.
They
Tell me
didn't
about it.
They didn't
Tell
put
me about it.
They didn't let me in the front door.
Tell me about
They
it.
didn't let me in the front door. They let me in the back door. And they didn't get me on my knees to pray for me. They put me on my knees to give them service.
That's
so
right.
I had a disdain
That's
for
right.
the church. I
That's
had a
right.
disdain for the pastor.
I can name a few
So
of them.
don't tell me about no
I
religion.
can name a few of them.
Religion,
You know what
don't
I'm
tell
saying?
me about that.
I can name a few of them. They were disgusting. And then being in the front of the church, in the pulpit. And then when I tried to go to church, I'm sitting in the church and people looking at me like I'm crazy. They don't want me in there. You know what I'm saying? This is where you get treated. They don't want you in there. You got more people in there that's going to be ignorant, rude, and just judgmental and all that you have that's going to come to you and say, baby, let me help you. Come on and let me help you. You know what I'm saying? And I pray that changes. I pray that changes.
Well,
but hey, look.
first of all, that's why this generation don't come.
That's why they don't
Because
come.
all of that judgment. Nobody had time for that. Look at what she has
A
on.
lot of it happens.
That you should not be sitting in church talking about. Look at what she have on. And
That's not even what you're in there for.
That's exactly
You follow
right.
what I'm saying? But
All that
that'd be another
judgment
topic.
stuff. That's
Yeah,
another.
That's why the program that we're in now is spiritually based.
Spiritually based.
Carl Jung,
That's right.
One of the psychoanalysts.
And for
says-
people that's in church that's biased like that, not just church, anywhere. In the households, anywhere. I'm just not saying church. You know what I mean? This is why Living in My Truth is on today. So that people can get to hear, and start listening.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Instead of just vibing off of what they see. Like I said, you know what I mean? They look at it
as such a bad situation when you don't even realize that it is a disease.
Yes.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's an uncontrollable disease, you know, that causes sight, mental health, all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? But you can put this disease in remission. You know what I mean? We'll have this sickness for the rest of our lives. Some refuse to say that. I am one that's going to always say it because I got to stay in front of it, not behind it. You know what I mean? And I know that this disease can come back. You follow what I'm saying? Because one, it never leaves. You follow? Because it starts with you and it's going to end with you. You follow what I'm saying? And you feel what I'm saying? There's no cure. There's a remission for this thing. You follow? Just like cancer. It can go away, then it can come back. You follow what I'm saying? I don't care how many years you got, how much time you got. It's the physical,
Yes. But the spiritual is
But the spiritual is what keep it in remission.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's what basically keeps it in remission. You follow what I'm saying? Because I know my God is stronger than any disease of any kind. You follow what I'm saying? And I know that it took me to get my belief and my love back for him. I love God more than I love myself. You know what I'm saying? I love God more than I love me.
I'm in love.
You follow? That's right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a protector. Heck yeah. You know what I'm saying? He is over us every single day, all day, and he's over the still suffering. Just like he is a preacher, just like he is a churchgoer, just like he is, you know what I mean? For anybody who feel as though they can look at somebody else and say something. You know what I'm trying to say? And say something bad. You know what I mean? Everybody has something that they dealing with. Or you know what I mean? Or you can look at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's
it ain't always good.
Right. But that's
You
the
just
purpose
think
of
it's
life.
good.
That's the purpose of life. That's the purpose of life. To find our way back to the Father.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And so whatever it takes for us to find our way back to him, that we have to go through to get through to come through.
That's
and it's
right.
going to be different for all of us. So just like this is the vessel for any spirit, now we practice the fruit of the spirit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
right.
it's the same vessel.
Same vessel.
It's the same vessel.
Same
And
vessel.
so a lot of times when you hear the enemy on the right and the enemy, and God on the left, and as a human being, you be like, listen. This time I say, listen. That Edwina get in there, and Edwina say, listen, fellowship. Listen, God, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'm going over here. I'll be right back. I mean, I know, but I'm going back over there. You know, but I don't beat myself up.
That's right.
Anymore.
That's right.
Because I wound up coming back. Because that was an illusion.
That's all.
You know what I mean?
That's
and
all.
so all that is
That's being in front of that thing.
Exactly.
That's being
but
in
all
front
of
of
that
that
is
thing.
purposeful so that we don't give up.
That's right.
Because once we give up, the disease is going to snatch
He's
us.
gonna
right
snatch you. Disease like this.
Yeah.
Turn your head to the right.
Yeah.
Turn your head to the left.
Yeah. Look up.
Put it down. Put your arm out.
Yeah.
Disease is you.
Yeah.
This thing is self-inflicted.
Yeah.
It is you.
And let me
And
say
it
this.
ain't going nowhere.
Let me say this.
Follow
in
what I'm
closing.
saying?
Let me
I got
say
to
this.
live with this little thing in me for the rest of my life. That's why I call her Trey Trey, so you can know the difference between Tracy
Yeah.
and Trey Trey. I got to know the difference between Trey Trey and Tracy.
So
You follow?
let me end with this. Let me end with this. I know that my mother was a praying woman.
Absolutely.
Trust me.
Mine too.
But it says in our literature, no human power
That's right.
could relieve us of our alcoholism.
That's
No
right. None.
human power.
That's right.
And it says God could and would if he was sought.
That's
Right?
right.
So as much as I give my mother credit and this and that, but she too was limited, right? So me getting my doctorate in biblical studies, not to be a preacher, I want to learn more about that force who met me, delivered me,
Go ahead.
met me where I was,
Go ahead.
underneath that car.
Go
He
ahead.
met me there. I want to know about you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And so that's why we are
That's
used
why we're you.
as and chosen.
Chosen.
And he knows which ones who ain't gonna be
That's
shy.
right.
I ain't shy. You know.
I feel like
No,
you.
you're not.
You crazy as hell. Other than that.
But you listen. When I say I'm free, I'm free.
Oh God, the peace is beautiful. Ain't it? We're gonna get into that. We're gonna come off this thing. The peace behind recovery is so beautiful. Now we can describe that.
Yes.
We can't describe that first hit. I can't describe that pain. You know, but I definitely can talk about the peace.
Yes.
You know what I mean? This peace
Serenity,
is so
peace,
important to me.
and joy.
And
you
so,
know?
yeah, joy.
happiness.
You know what I mean? From actually having the wisdom to know the difference. You know, in with disease and recovery, and I use all the basics of the teachings that they applied to me and taught me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I use all the language because some of you don't understand our language. You know what I mean? I come from the base of real talk. You know what I mean?
Yes,
That's
yes,
how it works for me to
yes,
share about this life of disease and addiction.
Because we
You know
heard
what
from
I mean?
somebody else.
Yeah,
And we got to share with somebody
exactly.
else.
And then you'll start feeling and these things will start coming up in you. You know what I mean? And you'll start creating it, you know? But I try to explain it the best way I know how because my main focus is to the still suffering. You know what I mean? We understand the language.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. We understand the language. You
Yes,
follow?
we do.
There was a
Yes, we
couple
do.
more people who were supposed to have been on tonight too. Let me say that, y'all. And go ahead. You gotta go by. What is it? Oh, okay.
What you say? Honey, it doesn't matter.
Girl,
Come
don't
on.
pass that
Man,
down on
listen.
screen.
Let's see what you're
This
working
is
with.
authentic.
Let's see what you're working with.
We in Tracy's sitting room. We ain't in no
Yes,
damn
baby.
studio.
Yes, baby. Yes, baby.
You got to get up. You got to get up.
Well,
You
thank
know?
you for this.
But listen,
really,
y'all, tonight was a
Yeah.
beautiful night
Yes,
for
it
me,
was.
and
Yeah.
I wanted to go out with 2025
Yes.
and just like this.
Yes,
You know
yes,
what I
yes,
mean?
yes,
To
yes.
sit down with some people who has been behind me, with me. See, that
Be
Rise say
careful.
bye. Rise had to go, y'all. That's what she gonna say.
Hey,
Mama. Yeah.
say bye-bye.
You know what I'm saying?
To God be the glory.
God be the glory.
Yes,
We have
yes.
had a great time tonight. I know I have.
I
This
know.
was
This
beautiful.
was good.
I
You know
can't
what
wait
I'm
till it's
saying?
over because the bottom of my teeth hurt.
Yeah, and guess
I
what,
gotta take
y'all?
these dentures.
We get ready to close out in a few minutes, but I asked each and every last one of them yesterday to come on here today.
Yes, you did.
And all of them showed up for me.
Yeah.
Everybody came
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
My brother's still out there trying to find his way here. I know that's what he's
Poor
doing.
man. Freely we receive,
He took the
freely we
wrong
give.
turn. You know?
Yeah.
But I don't care because his heart and spirit is in whatever I do.
Yes,
You know what I
yes,
mean?
yes.
And I love him to death. That is
Woo!
my best friend
Yes,
as
yes,
a male. You know,
Yes.
people ask, how can a man and a woman be best friends like we are?
Uh-huh.
You follow what
Yes,
I'm saying?
yes.
Don't even have to explain that.
No.
You follow what I'm saying?
Some things
that
are
is
words.
that is my brother, Lops, y'all,
Ooh,
aka Lops Larry Ham. You know, he'll be calling me in a few minutes. And Miss Sophia, she had to deal with a situation as well. You know what I mean? But the spirits and the heart was there, you know, to come on, and she on here busting this thing up, you know. So, you know, I know she wished she could be here, sitting here, and my brother Lops too. But with all of y'all, I hope you got a whole lot out of the whole year. You know, just
Yes.
know that I put my heart into this. We all put our hearts into it, you know, to try to help, you know, somebody in every way that we possibly can.
Yes.
And God's will, I'm going to continue to do this.
Yes.
You know, 2025 has been such a blessing for this thing. You know what I mean? And it allows me to know that it works if you work it.
Yes.
It does, because it's helping a lot of family members, and you know, people is coming through, you know, realizing, you know, that disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful, you know, and that it's a killer.
Yes.
You know, understanding what drugs and alcohol is really about, you know, even the functional, you know, of who. I'm not bringing anybody down. I just like to tell the truth about what I know about this thing. You know what I mean? And I'm going to continue to do that. And like she said, you know, I feel like God gave me this walk.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I'm going to walk this walk.
Because
And
we
talk
do
the talk.
recover.
That's what we do. We do recover.
Not
And
recovered.
it can work.
We do recover.
Recover.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
And somebody has to do it. You know, I'm not alone. There's many
podcasts and lives that's on today because it's out there. You know what I mean? This is how powerful it is today. You know, and we in the door now. You know what I mean? To try to help more people that are still suffering. You know, so I mean. For next year, I'm not even really going to speak on it yet because it ain't here.
Yeah, that's
you know
right.
what I mean?
Stay in
And
the
I do
present.
live
Stay
one
in the
day
present.
at a time.
Stay right here.
You know
right
what I
now.
mean? But today, I appreciated to have the couch full, you know, on the last segment of the couch for 2025. And my baby girl is right here along with me. Absolutely. And my friend is on here with me. Mwah. You know, and I know my other two hearts was there too, and thanking Roz.
I'm hungry.
So we got a little grove.
We got some food.
Because all of us is hungry right about now. You know, and y'all don't forget. You know, if you can send me stars, and if you have sent stars, thank you. I haven't paid really a lot of because I'm having such a good time with this. You know, please do. And if you want to send a donation, I'm going to put my Cash App on here. You can also Cash App me.
Okay.
You know, I'm going to put this on as I'm talking. And you can Cash App a donation, you know, towards the LNMT Awards for 2026, God's will. You know, I've had some fabulous people that's been on and had it set up.
There go your brother.
Did I put it on there?
Did you hit send?
I don't know. And I have some, get the door from here.
Okay.
I have some fabulous people and awesome people that's going to come back on again and repeat themselves, because you don't have to come on here once. You can come here as many times as you need. You know what I'm saying? And I have people, thank you for the star. I appreciate it. Anybody else, we can have a star party right now, and y'all can start sending stars, you know, for me. You know, I have to have a certain amount, so I need as many as I possibly can get. We're going to have that LNMT award again, you know, next year, because this year it was beautiful. And this is one of my honorees right here, right now. And look, Locks is in the house. Locks is in the house.
This is just a visit. I was supposed to get on the couch.
Come on
No, but
Listen,
listen.
Locks is in the house. I told y'all, my brother gonna get it. He gonna get it.
She wants slice too. I'm down. I said, look. So this is just a visit. I ain't on the couch. All right, sis. Let me go get some of this pizza. All
And
right?
look, my brother was out there in Newark somewhere. He was driving.
Yeah. Listen.
God bless you.
He done been here 100 times. He out there in Newark, all somewhere, y'all.
It's gonna be up here.
You got that pizza too.
Oh, yeah.
And it's food up there too for us. And y'all listen,
What?
we eat some of this then.
Only for my sis. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I missed it, huh?
We be like this in our gentry, right? We go like this in our recovery.
But y'all, thank you. If you're sending stars, thank you so much. If you're going to send me a donation to Cash App, I appreciate that too. And I hope you all can make this year's LNMT Awards. You know, it was a beautiful moment. It was a beautiful time. So, you know me, I can't do nothing but make it even better.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? For next year, God's will. But we're going to let y'all go.
All right.
Thank y'all so much. Hold on. Brother, ain't nothing going on until my brother come up in here.
Hold up. I came prepared from work, but look.
What you got?
You know I'll be repping.
There you go.
You know I'll be repping.
What is
I came ready to rep, huh?
Take it off so they can see.
Keep living your truth. Keep living your truth.
Got these t-shirts.
Wait.
Got these t-shirts for $15.
This is mine.
All right.
I know that's right.
From Crack the Christ.
And that's her logo.
From Crack the Christ.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Like, of course, I'm going to be
From
wearing
Crack
mine.
the Christ.
All right,
You know what I'm saying?
let's go.
But I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight. You got anything else to say?
Listen, to God be the glory.
Absolutely.
I just want to thank you for giving the platform for people like me and everybody else that is thought that they were alone.
Oh, my girl. And I thank you for sharing and opened up a lot of people who's now willing to come on here and talk about that situation. You know what I mean? And you coming back, I know,
You know, because I know you got much, much more.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying? Even if it's just to sit on the side, just like you're doing right now. Today, that's right.
And you know what?
Sit with me
The
on
model is not 6,000, just one. Just touch one.
That's right.
Just
One
touch
person.
one. That's right.
One person.
One at a time.
So I'm going to see y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Bye-bye.
So much.
Thank you, my friend.
Tomorrow, I'll come on and give a little shout out. You know what I mean? And look, to all the addicts and alcoholics that is working this program, you know, stay strong, stay clean. You know what I'm saying? You're doing a great job. You know, one day at a time. Because all it takes is one day at a time. Continue to live that day and work that day. And touch somebody else's heart. You know, with all of what you have in your heart today. So
All right.
we're going to
Bye.
go off.
We're going to eat.
And we're going to go grub now. Thank y'all. Thank you.